Alright, fellow hunters, time to take a look at the second episode of the day, which is All Dogs Go to Heaven. Crowley approaches Dean and Sam with a job. While Dean is reluctant to listen to him, Crowley reminds him that he owns Sam and can send him back to hell at any time. On the other hand, if they play along and manage to bring him an alpha, Crowley will give Sam back his soul. They're reluctant to work for Crowley, they don't see any other choice. He sends Dean and Sam to Buffalo, New York to investigate what appears to be a werewolf attack. When they arrive, they learn about another attack so far. The landlord, Eric Gieselman, and a dock worker, Ronald Garrigan, have been found with their chests ripped open and their hearts missing. Sam does some research and discovers what the two men have in common. Cal Garrigan. Evaded with Ren's Cal, they end up dead. The following wait for him to turn into a werewolf, but entire night passes without him changing. Then, when Cal is murdered in the same fashion as the other victims, the next suspect is Cal's girlfriend, Mandy. Sam is ready to take her in, but he is reluctant to capture her and take her to Crowley without being sure of her culpability. He goes to the scene of Cal's murder and does some more research while Sam keeps watch on Cal and Mandy's house. Although Dean doesn't find anything, Sam sees the family dog, Lucky, change into a man, put on clothes, and leave the house. Sam follows him and sees him talk to another man in a park. When he approaches, though, the man smells him, turns back into Lucky, and tries to run. Before Sam can catch up to him, Lucky's hit by a car and the driver loads him into the back to take him to an animal shelter. Sam, based on information from Bobby, calls in and tells him that they're dealing with a skinwalker posing as a dog. Sam and Dean take him from the animal shelter, binding him a rope and silver chains to restrain him. It transpires that the man was homeless when he was approached and recruited to become a skinwalker by being told that being bitten would make him strong and fast. Lucky reveals that there are about 30 skinwalkers who have been recruited and are living with families as pets. On a signal from their pack leader, they will infect their families, thus recruiting more skinwalkers. He tells Sam and Dean that there are many packs in many towns, but he knows nothing of the alpha skinwalker. Lucky leads Sam and Dean to the pack leader, but he has kidnapped Mandy and her son and threatens to kill them unless Lucky turns them. Sam and Dean open fire, and all the skinwalkers are killed, except Lucky, who, although shot with a silver bullet, escapes. Lucky, in human form, goes to visit Mandy and tells her how he appreciated her kindness, but she tells him to leave. Lucky transforms to a dog and dejectedly leaves. Afterwards, Sam tells Dean he's been considering the situation, and Dean is right. Without a soul, he's not really Sam anymore. He must have just really care about Lisa, Ben, or even Dean. Sam also reveals that he has done terrible things to kill innocent people in the last year, something that the real Sam would never do. Despite how hard it was living with a soul, he thinks it's better to try to be that Sam again. Dean agrees that they need to find a way to return Sam's soul to him. Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia from this episode. Sam believes a young mother to be a werewolf and wants to just turn her over to Crowley. Dean argues over her alibi, and Sam comments on how the last werewolf they encountered an alibi too by being in bed with him. This is a reference to the season 2 episode Heart. When Kyle gets killed by his dog Lucky, as he dies and blood splashes under his pickup, you can hear the Wilhelm scream. Adam Glass cites this as his favorite episode to write, and was amazed that fans did not take well to dogs being your enemy. Pack Leader second in command is played by Alex Panovic, who also appeared as Sean's friend in Season 3's Crossroad Blues, and Gunnar Lawless in Season 11's Beyond the Mat. And then finally, let's take a look at some cultural references. The episode refers to the title of the animated film of the same name. Dean and Sam poses by agents Holt and Wilson, a reference to the 1981 werewolf movie Wolfen, where Joey Wilson and Eddie Holt are played by Abram Finney and Edward James Olmos. Dean calls Sam Dexter, referring to the television series and its eponymous serial killer lead character. Sam says, "Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria." This is a line from the 1984 movie Ghostbusters. Dean asks Lucky, "Where's this little Scooby gang of yours?" This is a reference to the cartoon Scooby-Doo and or the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ironically, later in season 12, they appeared in Scooby Natural. Mm-hmm. So far, I think this episode is kind of interesting, and yeah, I really hope they do find a way to get Sam's soul back at some point. So, yeah. So, overall, I give All Dogs Go to Heaven 4 Impalas out of 5. But anyway, tune in a bit as we tackle the final episode of the day. Clap your hands if you believe. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.